The Honorable President, our lecturer, Mr. Dr. Kaharuddin, S.IP. M.Hum, as a lecturer on Phonetics and Phonology course, and all of you guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Ismail Mubarak. I'm a first year student of English Education Department, Class A of 2021, Tarbiyah and Teaching Science faculty at Alauddin State Islamic University of Makassar. Well, today I would like to discuss some questions as my mid-test of Phonetics and Phonology course. So there are some questions that I will answer in this video. But before that, I will tell you the structure of this video. The first is opening. The second is discussion, where I will answer some questions that are related to the phonetic. And at the end, I'll give a conclusion about this discussion, also recommendation. So let's get started. According to http dictionary.cambridge.org purpose, that phonetic is the study of the sounds made by the human voice in speech, while according to Rochby 2009 claims that phonetic is the scientific study of speech which is concerned in the discovery of how speech sounds are produced, how they are used in spoken language, how we can record speech sound with written symbols, and how we hear and recognize different sounds. From both the sources, I can understand that phonetic is a scientific study of sounds that produced by human in speech and how they produce the sounds well. Speech sounds refer any of the set of distinctive sounds produced when people speak in a given language. Speech sound is sound that comes out of a person's mouth when speaking. For example, like the word cool, in which K representative of letter C, U is the representative of the letter O, and L representative of letter L, because we must understand that speech sounds are not the letter used to spell the words. Speech organs, or we know articulators, are the organs that humans use for producing speech sound. Part of speech organs are the lips, teeth, alveolar ridge, hard palate, velum or soft palate, uvula, glotis, and various parts of the tongue, as tip, middle, and back part. Example, the velum is one of the articulators that can be touched by the tongue to make sound. Ka, ga, ka, and ga. Speech sounds production is a process of making speech sound by using speech organs or articulators, which is produced by flowing air from the lung to the mouth. For example, when someone wants to make a P sound, we have to move our two lips together tightly and then blocks the airflow for a moment. After that, we have to release the air pressure suddenly in the mouth, which causes plosive sound like pa, pa, pa. There were some problems with the Indonesian English learner in producing the consonant sound. The first, the problem about producing sound va. Sometimes the learners make an error by replacing the sound va to sound fa, because they have the same place of articulation and manner of articulation. For example, the word favorite, favorite is pronounced favorite by the learners. So there is something where we say favorite because the Y is favorite. Next, the problem about producing sound the. In the initial position, for example, the learners tend to replace sound the to da, as in the word they. The learners say they. Next, the problem about producing sound tha. The first division made by learners is to replace sound tha to sound ta, as in the word thunder. In English, this word should be pronounced thunder, but it is then pronounced thunder by the learners. The next is the problem about producing sound sha. The first error occurs when the learners replace sound sha with cha, as in the word chip that is pronounced chip. In English, but is incorrectly pronounced as chip by the learners. Next, the problem about producing sound ja. The first deviation in the pronunciation of ja is replacement of sound ja with ga, as in the word general, which should be pronounced general, but is pronounced general. The next is the problem about producing sound sha. The first division is identified when the learners replace sound sha with sa, as in the word decision that should be pronounced decisioned. And the last is the problem about producing sound za. They tend to replace sound za with sound sa, as in the word result. In English, this word should be pronounced result, but is pronounced result. Well, the first is the problem about producing sound e. Beside the replacement of sound e with in the medial position can be seen in the word this word, in which this word ought to pronounce perfect, but the learners pronounce it as perfect. Next, the problem about producing sound e. The substantiation of sound e with a can be seen in the word this. In English, this word should be pronounced this, but the learners pronounce it as this. The next is the problem about producing sound yeah. The replacement of sound with is found in the pronunciation of the word general, in which the learners tend to pronounce it as general instead of general as the correct one. General. The next is the problem about producing sound u. For example, when the learner are required to pronounce the word good, they tend to pronounce it as good instead of good. The next is the problem about producing sound ah. In their effort to pronounce it, they tend to replace it with sound ah. This error can be found when the learners are required to pronounce the word multiple. In the English, this word ought to be pronounced multiple, multiple. However, the learners tend to pronounce it as multiple, multiple. The next, the problem about producing sound The first deviation occurs when the learners replace sound with sound e, as in the word heard, heard, heard. This should be pronounced heard, had, heard, but the learners tend to pronounce it as heard, heard. The next problem about producing sounds and ah. When the learners are required to articulate it, many of them defeat to correct articulation by replacing it with sound in the articulation the word knowledge, knowledge, ah. The learner commonly pronounces it as a knowledge, knowledge, instead of knowledge, knowledge. The next is the problem about producing sound The definition of replacing with can be found when the learners are required to pronounce the word promote. This word is pronounced promote, promote instead of promote, promote. The next is the problem about producing sound I. The learner replaced diphthong I with E, as in the word identify. In English, this word should be pronounced identify, but the learners tend to pronounce it identify, identify, identify. Well, the next is the problem about producing sound A. The learners tend to replace it when sound and sound E, for example, as in the learners are required to pronounce the word make. They don't pronounce it as make, but this word is produced mac, mac by the learners. The next, the problem about producing sound E. E. This deficiency can be found as the learners are required to pronounce the word obvious. In English, this word is pronounced obvious, but it is then pronounced obvious by the learners. And the last is the problem about producing sound O. This deviation is also found in the word spoken. In English, it ought to be pronounced spoken, but the learners tend to pronounce it spoken, spoken. According to Reality 2013, the knowledge of English phonetics is very helpful to make the learners familiar with English vowel and consonant sound, which don't exist in Indonesia, and practice is also needed to make us able to pronounce it correctly. Well, by given phonetic to cover the problems that I have explained before, which make us to prove ourselves more and more to can pronounce a word in English correctly. Place of articulation refers to a specific area in the mouth that used to produce a consonant sound in which the speech organs work together. There are 6 speech organs used to utter a consonant sound, as the lips, the teeth, the alveolar ridge, the hard palate, and the soft palatal and four part of tongue, called as the lip, the blade, the body, and the reed. In terms of place of articulation, consonant sound classified into 8 sound, either as bilabial, labiodental, dental, alveolar, palatal, palatal-velar, velar, glottal, and labiovelar. For example, bilabial sounds pa, ba, and ma were produced by putting two lips together. For example, in the bilabial sound, ba is busy, busy. Manner of articulation describes how the different speech organs are involved in producing a consonant, basically how the airflow is obstructed. Manner of articulation gives basic distinction of how consonant sounds are made through 7 kinds of manner of articulation, as stop, fricatives, affricatives, nasals, lateral, and approximant. For example, stop are produced by closing the speech organs, both oral and nasal cavity. The air stream is blocked. For example, ta, ta, in the word tie, tie. According to your dictionary.com, in which distinctive feature is defined as something unique or different that sets someone or something apart from the rest. As I understand, the distinctive feature in consonant sound is a consonant letter that have more than 1 or 2 consonant sound, which is it's unique and different. Distinctive used to identify the sound distinction by knowing whether the vocal cords vibrate when the consonant sound are made, or we can say voiced, or whether the vocal cords do not vibrate when the consonant sound are uttered, or we can say as a voiceless. For example, sound pa and ba. Pa, ba. Pa is a voice because there is no vibration. Pa, ba, pa, ba. But for the sounds ba, there is a vibration which is a voiceless. Consonant pairs are sound where both are produced in a very similar way. For example, consonant pairs fa and va. Now we are constriction a flow between the bottom lip and the upper teeth. So to make this sound correctly, your bottom lips needs to touch your upper teeth. Va, va is voiced, and fa is aspirated, or we can say as a voiceless. Here is some example: fan, fairy, leaf. Van, very, live, live. Consonant letter is a letter that we write, while consonant sound is sound that produced from our mouth to represent that consonant letter. A consonant letter usually represents 1 consonant sound, but some consonant letters may represent 2 different consonant sound or more. For example, letter C represents the sounds sa in the word center, and represents the sound ka in the word cook. Students need phonetic exercise to help them get more understanding about how to produce a sound well by practicing in order to achieve the things as the first overcoming their difficulties in producing English sounds and making their pronunciation accurate. Because in my mind, when we learn a language, we have to learn it by doing, where we are not only learning the theory but also practice it to help us improve more, because learning the theory is not enough. We need to practice it too. The instruction when doing phonetic exercise: the first, focus on making the required consonant sound. Second, think how to make the required consonant sound as instructed into the place of articulation and manner of articulation before making the sound. The third, produce the required sound slowly and accurately. And the last, when you get accustomed to making the sound accurately, then you can produce the sound fluently. Well, I would like to practice some consonant sound right now, so let's get started. Peel, piece, peer, peak, pin, band, pair, pack, palm, part, bee, beat, beer, big, beat, bass, bad, bear, bad, back, team, tip, tell, tand, task, toss, tar, tall, torned, tout, top, deep, deal, dear, deep, dand, dare, dand, dark, door, dock, keen, keep, kill, kiss, can, chemistry, canned, kept, calm, car, call, give, gift, get, gas, gas, gap, guard, gorge, gaunt, goose, girl, feel, fit, fear, fit, finish, foul, fat, fair, fast, far, fur, and form, even, evil, fever, 11, event, level, lever, ever, every, invest, invest, theme, thief, theater, theory, thin, thick, thing, think, therapy, thank, other, mother, father, brother, leader, feather, weather, together, gather, either, neither, lessened, listened, associate, society, privacy, agency, test, wast, sleep, slope, zebra, zero, zip, zigzag, zest, zap, zoo, zoom, zoned, music, reason, she, ship, shear, chic, ship, shat, share, short, should, show, sugar, should, usual, casual, visual, efficient, explosion, erosion, measure, pleasure, treasure, laser. He, hit, here, him, history, help, her, hand, have, halved, heart, har, horned, hot, who, cheese, chip, cheer, chip, chin, check, chess, chair, change, chains, chapter, charity, chart, charter, teacher, kitchen, matching, watching, jeans, jib, gym, gin, gym, jet, general, gentle, jump, jazz, John, me, mean, mirror, middle, mint, manned, manned, mark, more, mommy, need, need, knee, never, nap, nasty, normal, not, noon, new, new, sing, singer, singing, sang, sung, hung, hanger, hanging, hung, lung, song, king, lead, leap, live, let, less, lack, last, lark, low, lord, read, rip, real, rare, risk, wrist, rat, rest, rare, rand, rap, we, weak, wheel, wind, wheel, wet, west, wind, wear, wax, wall, war, worm, water, wand, wool, year, yield, yast, yesterday, yellow, yet, yard, yound, York, yacht, yand, young, yoga, yolk, you. Well, everyone, I have explained about phonetic as a study of speech sounds, the meta video phonetic as a study of English sounds, the production of English consonant sounds, manner and place of articulations, the production of English consonant sound, or we can say distinctive features, and also phonetic exercise for articulating English consonant sounds. All about the theory of phonetic and also the exercise that can help us to improve and make our pronunciation better. As I have explained before, by phonetic we can have a better pronunciation if we understand about the theory well and then practice it well. Well, my recommendation to teacher and the learning of English, it's really important to know about the theory of phonetic as a speech sound, which is we can learn how to speech sound produce and how to produce a speech sounds well. Where in phonetic, it's really clear explain about how the sound that produce when we speak, when we produce a speech. And one of my recommendations too, if you want to learn about phonetic by reading book and journal on internet that can help you to improve the theory of phonetic. And then after learning the theory, we have to practice it well, because learning the theory is not enough. We have to practice it to make us do more, to improve more. And I would like to thank for you guys who watched this video till the end, and I'm so sorry for all my mistake in this video. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.